Hey guys, Grandpa John coming out to another Diablo 4 video. Alright, on this one we're going to talk about is going to be the aftermath of the patch that just happened. It is approximately 11 p.m. on August 8th, 2023. We just had probably the biggest I would say probably the biggest patch of season 1, the first ever season of Diablo 4. And we're going to talk about it and put it a little bit into perspective because I just played for about 3 hours. Like I said, I'm kind of casual, guys. So when I say 3 hours, that's it. I mean, that's all I got, right? So take this with a grain of salt. If you're someone who plays more, maybe you see something a little bit different than I do. But I got good and I got bad. So let's talk about it. All right, so let's start off here with a couple, like we'll go one good, one bad. We'll keep going back and forth. Because I do feel like there's been some changes since the update. Obviously, this was a pretty comprehensible update. It's one of those that for some people it should make game changing, for others it shouldn't. So let's go ahead, let's start off with the simple fact that I'm a necro, right? So I'm a necro. There wasn't a whole lot of changes that affected me other than the corpse tendrils modification, where if I didn't put skill points in it and I just used item power or items, and then actually if you just used the malignant, it would automatically give you corpse tendrils. So there was a bug with that system. I always assign points anyways. I've got item contribution of 4. I have 4 points on it as well, right? Because I know from my build it makes a big difference. I didn't notice anything with that tweak. Everything seemed to be working just fine for me. However, my barber seemed to work a lot better. My barber malignant that I'm running, wrathful malignant barber, it definitely seemed to be more effective. I was already doing pretty decent damage. Now it seems like the way that I read, say, the barber, the damage scales accordingly. I think they did fix that algorithm. They might not have necessarily fixed it. However, I did feel a change while playing. Now, there's a couple other things to take away though from this, unfortunately, and that is the fact that they did a lot with the sorcerer, and our good friend Nabith was actually running the sorcerer. He respec'd into the fireball slash meteor build. Now he did, I can't remember, it was a max roll guide that he followed, and as long as you're following a guide, you should get somewhat good results. Now, we saw that there should have been a massive buff with this. Fireball apparently still hit like a marshmallow, like he couldn't kill anything. It was kind of bad. Meteor, he said he saw a good increase in. However, the way that they kind of portrayed this, the way that it was hyped up and talked about, it almost sounded like sorcerer should be just broken now for fire damage, and that was not the case. So I do think maybe there's some tweaking that that didn't happen appropriately, or they didn't do it as they intended. So we'll have to see. I also talked to my buddy Brandon, who was playing the barb. He was already set up pretty good for resource generation, so it wasn't a situation with that change, right? Because there was a modification to some of their skills that increased resource generation. He was already compensated for it, so he didn't really notice a difference. However, I would love to suspect that if he didn't notice a difference and he was getting more resource generation, I think he was just spamming the buttons the same, but maybe he was getting an actual increase. It just wasn't as noticeable as what you would think. So that's also, I think, good. The problem with these types of things is when we have these patches, right? Yes, there's some things that are like, yes, this is an instant, we know this is better. And there's some things that aren't. Sometimes you're just like, in theory, this should be great. And I think that's the same way that the devs are going to take some of this. Is like, hey, in theory, this all was great. This is a perfect patch. In reality, I can't use my freaking horse. Every time I use this stupid horse, every time I get on the horse lately, I can't use the sprint. It was supposed to have changed to where I could use sprint and use sprint and hit the Z button for sprint and break barricades. I can't even. It just tells me literally most of the time, hey, you cannot use this skill here. So I've had to run around and teleport while doing my last of my renown. Like we finished Catch the Stand today, and all I have left is Fresh Peaks. I'll probably do that tomorrow, and then it'll be all my renown done for this character. But I was literally having to run around to get all these dungeons because of the stupid bug. Like the stupid horse would just stay, which couldn't run. Can't run in this area, even though I got enemies all around me, even though I'm getting knocked off the horse. Someone has told me, hey, dismount and mount again. I did that, it worked. It happened again, I tried it again, didn't work. So something still isn't right. Also, I couldn't break a single barricade when the dash skill would work. Neither could one of our other friends. So I don't think they actually put that in the game. It doesn't seem like it. I don't know. But you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care because doing dungeons, the mob density, oh, it was unreal. It's unreal. It's legitimately what you want. Like when you say, hey, I'm gonna go run dungeons, I'm gonna farm XP, or I'm gonna do renown, whatever the case may be. You want to get as many kills as you want anyways. That's like the kind of part of playing an ARPG game. And the simple fact that it almost feels as if the mob density has been doubled, and it feels great. It was a little crappy. So as you can see here, if we look at my consumables, I'm only level 82 here, and I'm pushing about tier 47 is my happy spot solo. It was, keyword there, it was my happy spot solo until today's change. Unfortunately, the additional mobs, they negatively impact how far I can punch up. Now that's a limitation of my build. Does not mean it's a limitation of your build. Your build may be fine. It could just be mine. So don't take that with oh yeah, well, if he's saying he's got to punch down now, it's not worth it. It could just be my build. I followed the guide. I have a pretty decent build in my personal opinion. However, I can't do 49s. I think I tried a 47. Yeah, I tried a 47. And I was this close to finishing it, but I was dying and it was taking forever. I dropped down and ran a couple of 41, 42s. No problem whatsoever. I could do those all day long. The problem is when you go to the cultist and you say you mess up and you say, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of all these additional stuff because I don't know, I should never need them, right? Like I shouldn't need any of these lower tier sigils, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. Well, then if you want to go make them again, right, and then comes a problem of, okay, well, now I gotta do a 31, 35. I can do like a 32, 33, okay, but I can't really do a 35 very well. Or I could try this. You know, it's just one of those situations where you could be put in not a ideal situation or doing the right sigil that makes the most sense for your build. But it's okay because you can go craft these, and as you can see here, sigil power, I have 9,269, and it takes 125 per, so I can craft an unlimited amount of sigils almost. But yeah, it's just one of those situations where I loved it. It was great, but it did make me have to kind of take a step back and go a little lower on the sigils, unfortunately. But either way, I definitely noticed a more XP, which is great. More XP is always better, right? That's literally the problem with Diablo 4 right now is if you want to go ahead and get any good progression up here to level 100, you need XP. And if you look at the skills and like how much XP it takes per level, this just keeps going up and up and up. We're at 12 million here, and I think it's an astronomical number for 100. So more density means level up faster. However, does that mean that you're going to beat the game faster? And that's a problem. If you beat the game faster, that means you're going to get bored quicker. Now, in my case, the 18th is Path of Exile League. I'm going to go play it. Me and my group that you see on stream every day, we are going to go play this league, at least to start it, just to compare a league of Path of Exile, compare a league of Diablo 4, and just pros and cons, run it. I'm gonna enjoy it. I usually try to play PoE every league. Last league I didn't because of Diablo 4 launch. Now I can, so we're going to. But yeah, overall in general, the still feels good. It feels great actually for so far throughout this for monster density, which is my biggest thing, like my happiest thing, is just because then it means I feel like I'm getting the XP. But yeah, overall in general though, if I had to rate the update, it's gonna be pretty low. It's gonna be like 6.5, 7. maybe even a 5.5, just because everything that everyone got hyped up about, Reddit was on fire, and then actually talking and seeing the update and its implementation, it doesn't quite hit the mark like they said it would. There are some aspects that did, so don't leave a comment saying blah blah blah, John, no, this is totally, no, I don't care. I didn't say everything, just unfortunately some of the things are bad, some of them they nailed. Okay, take that with what you will. But that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And I have a couple of videos coming up that'll be pretty decent in the next couple of days. I got a couple good ideas. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Have a good one. Peace.